So first of all, like when this got announced, all of a sudden it was before anyone spoke about Secret Wars, the story going into Secret Wars, or Doctor Doom. It was almost like the internet immediately went towards Infamous Iron Man. Now, Infamous Iron Man is a comic book that was came directly after Civil War Two. So I never read Civil War Two. I heard it was terrible. Everyone that I trust on it says it was terrible, which
Yeah.
was a disappointment to me because I love the first Civil War. But whatever. The second Civil War is the main protagonist. It's really supposed to be between Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and it was written by Brian Bendis, who is one of the biggest Marvel writers. So right after Civil War Two, what happens is Tony Stark dies in Civil War Two, and right after that, Doctor Doom goes for his redemption arc, and he decides to take over as Iron Man. And yeah, it's a super cool story. I actually love the comic, but the problem is that Doctor Doom, before becoming infamous Iron Man, was the biggest villain in the Marvel Universe for a really long time. And in the infamous Iron Man story, you know, one of the biggest dilemmas, well, the biggest dilemma that Victor Von Doom has is that nobody really believes him that he went straight. Everyone's like, nah, no. Or like some characters were like, I still don't trust you, even if you never do anything bad again. Like, I can never trust you. You're Victor Von Doom. Like, duh. And, there are some other big parts where, his mom comes back in the scene and his mom basically tells him, I came back now because I'm proud of the man you are today, and I couldn't be proud of the man you were before. And the interesting piece about his mom is that his mom's death played a big role in the, not like his actual origin story in terms of how he got his powers, but more so the origin story where like, something bad happens to someone and on social media, they're like, oh, that's your origin story. Well, Doom's mom was basically killed for being a witch in the woods when he was a child. So that like drove him crazy. And then the same people end up killing his dad later on. So that is kind of what sets Doom down the path of being a savage, but not necessarily the origin story of his powers. And, a lot, and it's driving me nuts because I see a ton of people who they obviously don't read comics and they're demanding Marvel do Infamous Iron Man. And it's like, you don't even know what Infamous Iron Man is. And you can't have Infamous Iron Man without having the villain version of Doctor Doom. And why would the MCU do Infamous Iron Man before doing Doctor Doom? It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, Infamous Iron Man is actually super cool. It's probably one of the coolest comics I've ever read. I would love to see an Infamous Iron Man 2. But the difference between me and everyone else online that's demanding it is now I've read it, number one. And number two, I understand the main thing, which is Infamous Iron Man is Doctor Doom's effort at redemption. This is his chance that he tries to redeem himself. And he also, has a deep understanding that most of the world will never trust him. And he's kind of okay with that. He's like, as long as I'm doing the next right thing and I know I'm doing the next right thing, then I will be content. But I understand that not everyone is going to be able to see me that way. This story is a completely different story without, and the character, not just the story, the character is a completely different character if he isn't a villain first. Infamous Iron Man doesn't exist without Victor Von Doom being Doctor Doom first. So, you just can't have it both ways. And even like, why would you want Infamous Iron Man before Doctor Doom? Why would you want Infamous Iron Man before the classic villain Doctor Doom, who is the most powerful villain in the Marvel Universe? It just makes no sense. And, it's the same people that are like, oh, don't recast T'Challa. Marvel, please stop listening to the fans. And if that means my opinion too, so be it. Because most of the fans make silly demands. And whenever Marvel listens, it goes wrong. And I'm just so tired of it. And, it's just so crazy, because if more people read this comic, they would understand that what they're asking for makes 0 sense.
Yeah. So, if you guys know where I stand, I am very confident in the decision of RDJ becoming Doctor Doom. With that being said, in order for them to make Doctor Doom work, you have to sell RDJ as Doctor Doom as Victor Von Doom. You can't make him a Tony variant or any of that. You know what I mean? He has to be Victor Von Doom. And
real quick, Infamous Iron Man is not a variant. That's what the other thing that people
yes, he's not a variant.
It's Victor Von Doom who took over the Iron Man armor and kind of redesigned it in his own image after Tony Stark died.
Exactly. And so as I said, like, I think that RDJ has to be Victor Von Doom. It's not like he's Tony Stark, but he went the Doctor Doom route. You have to sell him as that character, and I think that's the point of the multiverse, is that when you bring on like, if you do bring back the actors to play another character, or if you bring on the actors to play a variant or another multiversal character, they will embody that character.